Hey, welcome to the STRUM Method Sessions. In today's STRUM method, we're going to be going over C fretboard patterns. For those of you that don't know extensively what the STRUM method stands for yet, we got a great video kind of introducing our whole new method of learning. It's in this video just up in the announcements, so maybe right after this live feed, if you want to go up there and watch it, feel free to do so, and I'll kind of walk you through the 5 essential elements that we feel are most important for a guitarist to understand, fully get, so that they can apply those to learn any song nearly immediately. If you saw, I made a video a little while back, I think last week, about how I'm able to learn a song within 30 minutes. And that's not to toot my own horn. It's just simply to say, if you know these 5 essential elements, you could sit down and learn any song. You don't have to watch some YouTube video. You don't have to have someone describe it to you. You will have all of the essential elements of playing guitar in your tool belt to play any song that you want. And that's what this is all about, right? It's so that you could play any song you want pretty much immediately. So today we're going to be going over C fretboard patterns, and we're going to start out pretty simply. And it's this. The neck of the guitar is made up entirely of patterns. There's a million different patterns that we're going to be covering over the weeks to come. But the main reason why there are so many patterns along the neck is because there are only 12 notes. I know it looks like there's hundreds of different notes that we can play on here, but there's just 12 of them. It's C, D, E, F, G, A, B, back to C. Some of those have sharps. That gets a little bit more into theory. We'll go over that in our U of STRUM method, which is understanding a bit of theory. But for now, we're here just to pretty much state the reason why there are patterns all along the neck and ones that you'll need to learn eventually are because there's just 12 notes and just keeps repeating over and over again. So you might know your standard tuning of a guitar, E, A, D, G, B, E. We're going to look at our 6th string, the one closest to our nose. The thickest and lowest pitch string is an E note. If we count up 12 strings, we get back to an E note the next octave above. So starting open, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. 12 notes up, we're back to the E. And it's like that for every one of the strings. So the next string is A, it goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way back to the A. Again, some of those having sharps, we'll cover that in a little bit of theory. But that's it. There's 7 notes, 5 of those have sharps, 7 plus 5 is 12. And it just repeats through those notes over and over and over again, creating all of these patterns along the neck. Every one of those patterns that you find and you can log into your memory, you're going to have one of those, oh, I understand why I can play the same thing down here. I could play it here. I could play it here. I could play it up here. It's because the guitar fretboard is made up entirely of patterns that just keeps looping over and over. So if you could just wrap your head around, there's only 12 notes to learn, 7 full notes, A through G, and then 5 of those notes have sharps. The next thing that we're going to go over today is relative tuning. You might have started learning a little bit about this already. It goes a little bit into our ear training, but it's a very important fretboard pattern to realize. And this is also really important to know because if you don't have a tuner on you, you could still tune up your guitar. So what that means is the 5th note of one string becomes the open note value of the next string. So for example, on the 6th string, our 5th fret, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can also tell by the dots on the sides of your guitar. Our fretboard indicators here, they're always on 3, 5, 7, 9, and 12. So again, going back really quick, we just have 12 notes. and then it repeats. So if you look down at these dot indicators, the dots with the 2 is always going to be your 12th fret. So really we're just trying to learn what's between the nut right here and the 12th fret. And then everything that's here just repeats again. These aren't new different notes. This is just a complete repetition of what's here. So anyway, back to what I was saying. On the 5th fret of our 6th string, again the second dot on the side of our guitar here, the 5th fret is an A note, which is the same note value as our 2nd string played openly, an A. A. So if we were out of tune, and I was tuning up my guitar, I'm purposely going to tune out of tune here really quick, and I go to use relative tuning, 5th fret of my 6th string, creating that A note, and then I hit my 5th string, I can hear that they're not the same note. They're different wavelengths, different pitches. Da, 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 da. I actually note that's a minor third because of some interval training. And when we get to the M in STRUM Method, which stands for Master Ear Training, we're going to learn some fun interval secrets. But that da, da, it's like a doorbell, ding dong, is a minor third. So I'm actually a minor third down. But we want those to be equal. In relative tuning, we can use the 5th fret of one string to tune our next string. So the 5th fret of our 6th string, an A, we want it to match the open note value of our 5th string. So I first pluck that 5th fret, and then when I hit my 5th string, I'm going to tune my tuner knob up here until those notes are equal. This is where you got to use a little bit of ear training. We're kind of hearing that wavelength, and we want them to be succinct with each other. If they're out of sync, kind of makes like a sonar noise. Wah, wah, wah. Wah, wah. It sounds dissonant. It sounds ugly. We want those to match. So again, I hit that 5th fret of the 6th string. And I try to make those exactly equal. Now we can do that in nearly every single string. There is one difference, but we could do that on the next string. So the 5th fret of our 5th string is a D note. It's the same note as our 4th string played openly. You can hear how it's the same note. It's because my guitar, I tuned it ahead of time, so you could see those are already in tune. It's the same note. Same thing for our next string. The 5th fret of our 4th string is a G note. Same thing as our 3rd string played openly. Now this is where the relative tuning can stump some people, so you just got to remember this one rule, this one difference, is the 4th fret of the 3rd string is a B note, which is equal to the 2nd string played openly. All of them are on the 5th fret, except the 3rd string to the 2nd string is on the 4th fret. So on that 3rd string, you got to push down on the 4th fret, and it makes the same note value as your 2nd string, B. And then we could tune that to be equal again. But then we go right back to the 5th fret of that 2nd string is our E note, and so is our 1st string also an E. You might recall that when we first started this relative tuning, the 6th string is also an E note. So you might be asking, how are they both E notes? Well, again, they're just different octaves. You start at one E note, you go through the 12 notes, the 7 notes and the 5 sharps, you come to that next octave of the E. But now that we just learned relative tuning, where they repeat after the 5th fret, you could still count up 12 notes and jump to the next string. So what do I mean by that? You start with the 6th string openly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we just learned that that's the same note as our 5th string. So then we go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is the 5th fret on the 5th string, which we just learned with relative tuning is the same note as our 4th string openly. So we can go 11, 12, and we're back to the E note. So we just found our first fretboard octave. An E note is 2 frets up the neck and 2 strings down. So an E, 6th string openly, 1 fret up, 1 fret up, 1 string down, 1 string down, which ends up being the 2nd fret on our 4th string, is also an E note. So that's a critical pattern for you to start memorizing for finding fretboard octave patterns. 2 frets up the neck, 2 strings down. It's the same note, 1 octave apart. I could count up 12 notes this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 12. Or I could use the strings to count up 12 notes, but it does it quickly by just going 2 frets up, 2 strings down. Because remember, every string is 5 frets apart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On the 5th fret, or 5th string, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we need to go 12 frets to get to that next E, we just got to go 2 up, and then 2 strings. Each string is 5, it's 10. So 2 plus 10 is 12. We're back to that E note. E, E. Okay? So really important to get down in your head. There are only 12 notes. Relative tuning, you always use the 5th fret of the preceding string to find the note value of your next string. A little off, a little flat, so I'm actually going to tune it a little bit. And so now you can start seeing why when you're seeing these people shredding all up and down the fretboard, they're really playing the same thing in different places. Like I started off by showing you, I could play, or I can go, that was on the the 3rd to the 2nd string. But if I go up to the 4th string, we just learned that the 5th fret is the same note value as our 3rd string played openly. So I can do the same thing starting on the 5th fret of my 4th string. Same thing, go up to that 5th string, slide up 5 frets. Same thing, go up to the 6th string, slide up 5 frets. All the same note, same lick, just different parts along the neck because of those patterns. So that's going to do it for today with seeing fretboard patterns. We got 12 notes, and then it just repeats over and over again. So everything from the nut, which is this piece here, up to the 12 frets. Anything we learn here is the exact same from here to here, because after that 12th fret, everything repeats. And then for relative tuning, the 5th fret of one string becomes the same note as the next string. We can tune our instrument this way. The one caveat to that rule is the 3rd to the 2nd string. We got to push down on the 4th fret of that 3rd string, which is a B note, to make our 2nd string played openly also a B note, but then it goes right back to that 5th fret from the 2nd string to the 1st string. So what I want you to work on for today is that relative tuning. Learn how to tune your instrument by ear if you can. It's going to take a little bit of work to understand how to line up those wavelengths, but eventually you'll start training your ear, which is the most important part of guitar training, is training our ear to hear what is right and wrong. If you forget how to do relative training after this video, head to our complete course all the way down in level 7. The jam trick video in level 7 goes thoroughly into relative tuning. There you can be reminded, given some even extra tricks on how to accomplish that. So that's going to do it for our first STRUM Method session. Please let us know in the comments what you thought of this trick, how it works for you. And if there are any questions out there, now is the time. I have my lovely fiance to let me know if anyone has any questions or did we thoroughly cover it. I think we did a great job today. Thank you so much for watching. We're excited to get into our next STRUM Method session. This weekend is Easter, so I think we're going to be skipping over Monday. We're going to be out of town visiting family, but we'll come right back to you Wednesday, going on to T, transitioning smoothly, and we're going to give you some great tricks to start improving upon your transitions. Hope you have a great Easter weekend, everybody. Keep jamming, jammers.